Hi, my name is Rainey. If you're new here, welcome. If you've been following along for a while, you've probably noticed that I've been doing something different lately, working with new movement creations. But before we get too complex, I wanted to go back to the very beginning, back to where my own movement journey started. I've realized that to go further into these new creations, I have to go deeper into the roots. That's why today's flow is built on the fundamental patterns of total body connectivity. We're going to strip away the complexity and focus on how we actually knit ourselves together with movement and breath. We'll move through 4 stages, starting with our internal core and breath, finding our side body and body halves, and then exploring our spinal wave to find total integration. No equipment needed, just you and the floor. Let's flow. Begin by making your way down to all fours. Slide your knee through and come to lying on your back or supine position. Relax and become comfortable. With the arms and legs extending out like the shape of a star, make sure to keep the arms below the shoulders. Here we will take 8 deep belly breaths. Breathe in fully and slowly through the nose. Fill your belly with air. Then exhale out through the nose. Take your hands gently onto your abdomen and feel the belly rise and fall as you expand with the breath and then release. Expand and release. Imagine being heavy on your mat. Allow the weight of the bones to drop into the floor and think of the ribs expanding. Imagine your neck being long and aligned as it connects to your back. With each breath, the spine elongates. Think of a taut line of energy that runs from the top of your head to the ends of your toes. Really listen to your body as you take these moments of stillness and breath. Let's move on to starfish. Reaching from your center or core out to your 6 distal points, head, tail, 2 hands, and 2 feet, and pulling back in again. On the inhale, reach your fingers and toes to the corners of the room. On the exhale, hug your knees to your chest, curling into a tight ball. Hold the hugging sensation for a beat, then release out as you inhale once again. Move from your navel. Your limbs are just extensions of your center. Try and keep the movement smooth and flowing. If you find yourself jerking through, slow down and connect back to your breath. Now, like a lizard, slide your right elbow toward your right knee, then lengthen. The movement should be small at first, gradual, as you repeat on each side, and until your body understands the pattern of softly crunching side body. Continue this way, eventually involving the rest of the body more and more with each repetition of elbow to knee. Remember to inhale on the opening and exhale on the soft closing, arriving in a side sleeping position. The movement never stops, rather keeps expanding, becoming more full-bodied as it progresses. If movement feels forced, relax and connect back to your breath. Imagine a line of energy out of the top of the head, toes, and fingertips, extending away from your center and then closing back with as little resistance as possible. Allow each limb to linger out until it is pulled back in by the core. The internal connection here is the relationship between the center of the body and the limbs. It teaches that all movement begins in the core before it reaches into space. Core distal is the pulse of life, radiating energy from your center out to your fingertips and toes, and gathering it all back to your core for support. Now, body halves. Curl onto your side. Reach the top arm first in isolation from the body until your other arm must follow. Then bring the top leg to meet the arms, and then the other leg must follow. Let the floor take the weight as we move through 4 sets of these that begin with the arm. So the sequence is arm, arm, leg, leg. Arm, arm, leg, leg. Now the leg will lead. Leg, leg, arm, arm. Smooth out the movement. Leg, leg, arm, arm. And now a full body half. Move one side to the other side, floating as one unit through the center, and then resting momentarily at the side position. Like a moving, happy baby, there's energy out of fingers and toes, and the core stays engaged and active through its connection to the extremities. Now hug the knees and roll over onto all fours for the spinal wave. In a solid square position with knees under hips and hands under shoulders, keeping head and spine in neutral as if to do cat-cow, we begin by tilting the pelvis under. This creates a ripple of the spine that makes its way vertebra by vertebra through the thoracic up to the cervical spine, which creates a tuck of the head and a protraction of the shoulders. From here, the lumbar spine will extend and tuck through, causing an arch, which will wave all the way back through the spine, through lumbar, thoracic, and cervical. And now extend the spine, creating an arch that waves all the way back through until it reaches the top and moves to the head. Repeat this flow by beginning again with the tilt of the pelvis. The ripple moves from lower back, then middle, then upper back, which becomes protracted, making the head tuck. The goal here is to really get control over the vertebra of the spine and how you are moving the three sections of the back. The spinal wave promotes fluid mobility and neurological mapping by articulating each vertebra individually, which releases deep-seated tension in the back and neck. It also stimulates the flow of cerebrospinal fluid and integrates the core, transforming a rigid spine into a responsive, resilient channel for energy and movement. Now let's put all this together for a final total body connectivity. From a starfish position on your back, softly crunch the body to your right side and continue that movement over onto the belly. Widen out into a prone position starfish and then weave the left side to close in the same fashion, gently changing to supine position. See it as a dance, connecting organic movement to the rhythm of the breath. Our bodies were made to move organically in this way. The grace of this moment translates to the power and confidence of your body when you step outside into the world. Back to the basics, back to the breath, and back to the center. Thank you for flowing with me. Stay connected, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.